Hey, 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 hey. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Unmuted Conversations podcast with yours truly, Latasha Renee. I am so happy to be with you again for another episode. Um, and tonight, y'all, we are in for a treat tonight. So I want you to grab your neighbor, grab your sister, grab your friend, and tell them that we are live right now. We are streaming live on Facebook. We are streaming live on YouTube as well right now. So I'm going to give you a few moments to grab your neighbor, grab your sister, grab your friend. Come on in, and we are going to have an amazing conversation on tonight. Tonight, I do have a special guest with us, Dr. Monica Jackson. She is hailing all the way from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And listen, if you know her, then you are blessed and highly favored. Can I just say that? Tonight's episode, we are going to be talking about from confusion to clarity, learning to trust what you know, because you know, as women, sometimes we know what to do. We know the way to go, but sometimes we trip our own selves up. Sometimes we get in our own head. Sometimes we deal with imposter syndrome and all of the things. I'm not going to get ahead of myself, but I want you to grab your cup of tea, grab your coffee, grab your friend. Join us tonight. We have an amazing conversation planned out for you. Like I said, I have my good friend here, Monica. She is going to be giving us some tips, some tools, some strategies, some knowledge. She has lived a well life. And listen, I'm coming to be as a student tonight because I'm here to learn as well, because we can all learn from somebody. Yes, I'm the host of the show, but listen, this woman is full of wisdom. And so I wanted to bring her on the show tonight because I know that she has some good information to impart onto our listeners on tonight. And I just want to once again thank everyone for rocking with me. We have been doing this for over a year now, and y'all have really supported me, whether it's the live shows, whether it's the replays, whether it's y'all in my DMs, whether y'all have supported some of my other endeavors. I just want to say thank you for all of the love, for all of the support. Listen, I don't take it for granted. I count it as an honor. So I just wanted to say that before we get into the show on tonight. I do have some amazing announcements that I'm going to announce before at the end of the show. So make sure you stick around. But I am going to bring like I said, my special guest on tonight, Dr. Monica Jackson. She is backstage, but I'm going to bring her onto the stage because I want y'all to see her beautiful face. I want y'all to meet her. I want her to introduce herself and all of the good things. So give me a moment here. I'm going to bring her onto the stage, and we are going to get this show started. There she is. Hey, Monica.
Hello.
Welcome to the Unmuted Conversations podcast. Thank you so much for being a part of the Unmuted Conversations family, where we are obsessed with helping women unmute their message and share their story with the world. So we are glad that you joined us on today. Before we jump in with all of the amazing information that you're going to be providing us with today, I want you to introduce yourself to our audience. I want them to get to know you a little bit better so they can pull up their seat and get comfortable on tonight. Go ahead, girl.
Hello. My name is Monica Jackson, and I am a sister to all. I meet no strangers. I love helping women figure out what is that next thing, being able to go to the next level. So you can call me a coach of all aspects. For professionally, I am a director of HR operations for a manufacturing organization here, and I say I love my job. I have achieved the age of 56 and found that place where I have full autonomy to really dive into helping others get to that point. I tell them when you leave me, you will never be the same. My goal was just women. But God put something in my spirit, and now I want to help young girls ages 14 to 18 to figure out what is their passion, what is their purpose, their goals, their dreams, to be able to do all those things. Because if you don't have your own goals and dreams, you'll be working somebody else's.
Ooh.
When you were younger, remember when you were 14 and 15 and you worried about the people on the left and the people on the right? It don't matter no more because we're going to lead the race.
Yeah.
I like to focus on women building that journey, rebuilding that a journey to rebuild themselves, because sometimes we have to reinvent ourselves instead of doing the same thing over and over. And you know what that is? It's just insanity. And it takes you to a point to be able to become your ultimate her.
Okay.
That ultimate her could be
yes.
The ultimate her could be anything, because you ever vision yourself, and I'm gonna cut it off, Tasha. You ever vision yourself and you're saying, that lady right there, she got it going on. I don't know if it's the bag, the outfit, the walk, the look, the smile, the frown, whatever it is, her sway, she has it. And whatever that is, we're not trying to go after what she has. We want what's out there for you.
Amazing. You listen. First of all, did y'all peep that ultimate her, unmute her, ultimate her? I love it. I love it. This is why I rock with my friend. Yes, thank you so much, Monica. You have said so much. But one thing I really want to, when we were talking a little bit earlier, and you said, if you don't, say it one more time. You said, if you don't
have your own dreams and goals, you will always work somebody else's.
Listen, and y'all, how many of us can say that's true? I was telling Monica earlier, that has been so true for most of my life. Like, you know, for me, I spent a lot of time in the church world, just serving, you know, because, you know, we say we have a servant's heart. And so we always are pushing other people, not even just the church, but, you know, like other people's goals, you're helping them reach theirs, while my own passion sat on the back burner, while my own dreams was like, oh, well, can I do it? Is it time? I'm so busy doing this, and that for other people. And then meanwhile, my little dreams, you know, my big dreams would get delayed and delayed and delayed. But I think, you know, you make a really, really good point. And I'm so glad that you're starting to work with young people, because of course, most people know I've worked with youth as well. Because had I had a Monica when I was 14, listen, maybe I could have done a different, you know, went a different way. But I thank God that, you know, I'm no longer walking in confusion. I now have clarity about my purpose. I now know what I'm supposed to be doing. And thank God I'm finally walking into it. And I know that God has so much greater for me. But I want you to tell us how you got there, because, you know, like I say here on this podcast, we all have a story. We all have a journey. And we know you know, most people didn't wake up like this. And so what was your journey to getting to the place where you're like, you know what? I have a dream. I'm going to walk in and I'm going to help other women too.
I'm going to be as transparent as I can.
Please.
I'm texting people to come in the room. When I went to North Carolina A&T, and my freshman year, I stayed in the dorm. The second year, I was in a rooming house where we had a whole house, and it was like 4 girls. And so we just had the run of the land. And it was time for me, my second year, to decipher what was going to be my major. I had no clue. Yeah. I didn't think to go ask the advisor. I didn't think to go take a personality test. I didn't think to go shadow somebody on the job training to figure out if this job is what I wanted to do. Well, my roommate was a biology major, and she was going to go to medical school. Sounded good. I told my mama, she was like, yes. I mean, who wouldn't be proud if your child called home and said, Mama, I'm going to medical school. I decided what my major is. So she said, okay. And my mom was a college grad, undergrad, and a master's. And so I graduated and realized I didn't want to go to medical school.
See?
I was a jack of all trades. I worked 3 jobs. I drove a school bus. I did hair, and I worked at Travelers Insurance. So I had more money than a college student needed. And you say, what you mean? If you have so much money that you don't feel you need to try hard to go get something else so you don't have to work 3 jobs, you don't want to go to school. My daddy said, well, I got to go home and take care of some bills and stuff. I said, well, how much do you need? My daddy said, how much you got? No, Daddy, you got to worry about that.
Wow.
You know, I was strategic. I had a 72 Beetle, and I drove that sucker till the wheels fell off. And I took it home. My daddy would put it back together. And so taxes was $9 a year and gas was $6 to fill it up.
Ooh, the
So
good old days.
everything left on the table was mine. And my hair money I kept in a mason jar. And so that paid my rent. So all the other money with all the other 2 jobs, even a full-time bus driver with the state, a part of state of North Carolina, I had too much. I wasn't focusing on school. Well, I graduated, got a job, and realized with my personality, I can't work at LabCorp or American Red Cross testing specimens in the lab with a white coat and ain't nobody to talk to.
Because baby, you got to talk. You got.
Yeah, I ain't got nobody to talk to, right? So my mama said, "You come home, but you can't stay. You got to go. You gonna have to go back out there." So I said, "Well, ain't no need to pack up everything and go home. I'm gonna find something I wanted." The company was giving away computers. I learned, and they said you can take them, just take them off site. I took 3. And I learned to network them together. I was gonna get my A+ certification, do all them these things, and then I realized the pay for that job ain't gonna pay for my lifestyle. So I said, okay. I worked for a company and did tech support. I learned to do Apple computers, Dell, Gateway, AT&T, dial-up, and Adobe products. I learned them all. I ran around the building with just socks on because I worked on so many teams. I got promoted to a trainer. They wouldn't take me as a supervisor. They said I was too nice and I wouldn't delegate nothing. So they started having me do, I know this story is crazy, right? So what I did was I started doing job fairs. I started helping with interviews and I realized, aha, I want to be in HR.
Yeah.
So I met my mentor and my mentor said, well, you need to go back to school. So, cause you behind the time, all your other friends in their field. So that's the time I got that mentor.
Yeah.
And in getting that mentor, I said, okay, well, I finished another 4-year degree in 2 years because somebody said, well, now, you got the base classes. All you got to do is your major. You can finish in 2 years. Well, my mentor said, congratulations, you finished. So now you got 2 degrees, but that's not enough because you're still behind. Okay. You where they were when they are graduated. I need you to call Clemson. They got a program. You don't have to sit for the LSAT or MCAT or whatever. Just go ahead and apply by Friday. Oh, congratulations. You have been accepted. Classes start on Tuesday. Jesus. Okay. So I kept on going. So by that time, I have begun to exercise the muscle. And I said, what would happen? Remember dreams and goals?
Yeah.
When I get old, I'm old, but I ain't old yet.
Right.
When I get old, I want to be able to just teach school online because by the time COVID has come, and I said, what I want to do is be able just to teach online classes at the house, and then I can go do what I want to do, wherever I want to go, travel or whatever. I'll do is take my laptop or my cell phone. And nowadays they don't even see your face, so you ain't really got to take your laptop. Just grade them papers, send them on, and tell them what they need to do. And that's when it hit me. I found a mentor. He told me what to do. And your mentor usually sees something in you that you don't see in yourself. I'm not saying it's not there. You just don't see it.
Yeah.
And that's how I started. And I'm always one of those people. You ever had a girlfriend that can always think outside the box? We somewhere we ain't supposed to be, and we trying to make sure that we don't get in trouble because mama getting ready to whoop our butt if we get caught. I'm that one that's gonna figure out how to get back in the house without getting that switch. Okay. And so I have had that quality or that anointing, you can call it whatever you want, all my life. So when somebody tell me they want to start a business and this is what they want to do, they don't know how to market, they don't know where to get the training, I'm going to figure it out. And now we got ChatGPT and all these other apps that we have. You can't tell me it can't be done.
There's no excuses. Like at this point. Yeah.
So that's when it came. And I'm a person that fear fuels me. You know how they say faith over fear? Fear fuels me. You ever had to go to the front of the room and talk? Or somebody asked me to do the scripture at church? Boy, I'll sweat like ain't no other. But the times you sweat the most is when you do your best.
Absolutely.
And that's that daredevil adrenaline rush. And the thing is, anytime you do something you're scared, but you complete it, pass or fail, you completed it. You are so many steps above or beyond people who've never tried anything.
Yeah. Yep.
I've been there. I got that t-shirt. And so that's how it all started. Let it come to my mind.
Listen.
I'm gonna figure out. It's like when you go buy a car. As long as I don't crank the BMW, as long as I don't sit my bottom in that seat, as long as I don't drive it, I'm good. Because what will happen, I'm going to go home, I'm going to eat dinner, lay down, take my shower, and next thing you know, my mind is racing, trying to figure out how to get it.
Wow. Wow. Now, is that something you had to learn, or is that just the way you're wired?
I'm wired that way.
Okay. Now, let me ask you this. So we do have, people on here. Hey, Michelle Boone, thank you so much for joining us. She said she wished she had a mentor. And I know that she is in school as well. Now, see, she's a ram like me. So, honey.
I grew up around. I didn't graduate as a ram, but I was a little girl. Every year, homecoming, you had a red and white outfit and you went to the parade.
Okay.
And you wore that little cheerleading outfit to the football game. So I was raised a ram. I just didn't graduate as a ram.
Oh, okay. We'll let you stay on the show tonight then, because
I appreciate
too much talking about them other schools and we rams over here. But she says, she wished she had a mentor. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Michelle is in school right now for her master's. But what
congratulations.
Listen, sis smart, honey. So what advice would you give to someone who maybe isn't quite wired the way that you're wired, but maybe they feel like they need a mentor? First of all, I want to know, how can they find one? Where would you say people start? And then how would they go about kind of getting out of that state of confusion and trying to find their place in the world? Because, whereas you were kind of, listen, you said fear fuels you, baby. Fear scared the crap out of most of us, and we just stopped. But, of course, everyone's not wired the way that you are. So if you can give some advice on, number one, how can people find a mentor? But number two, how do they get past that fear and that cloudiness? Because, when you don't know, you unsure, you feel that cloudiness and you're like, okay, is this God? Is it not? Is it me? All of the things.
Okay. The first question, how do I find a mentor? I put it to you like this: whatever it is that you want to do, there's somebody that's already doing it. Yeah. There's somebody that's already doing it.
Absolutely.
And those are the people you ask. You open your mouth, closed mouth don't get fed. You can be hungry if you want to, but I'm not. I'm swole and I'm good. Okay. Yeah. And so what happens? You have to find somebody that's already doing. And I'm not saying you have to sign up for a coaching program, $500, $1,500.
Right.
YouTube has information about everything.
Correct.
Chat GPT, mine is a she. He tells me any and everything I need to know. If it's something I want to do and I have no clue how to get it done, or is this a bright idea, or what are the steps I need to take, I put it in there. And to give it simple, stupid. I don't want all that extra. I don't want it all over the top. Give it to me just like that. And when you find people, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever, because people like to talk about themselves. They like to talk. If anybody like me, they're going to tell you how I met my mentor. I was laid off from a job, went to the unemployment office. They found out what I did. They took me to my resume and the profile. And they said, hey, we got a job, but I need one. And so next thing you know, I got the job. We were just talking. And a man that was there used to work with my daddy.
Wow.
And I said, Mr. Ron, do you know Milton Jackson? He said, yeah, he did. I said, yeah, and that's my daddy. And it was on from then. So you don't know who that person is going to come from. But I would always tell you, find somebody that's doing something you want. Even if it's on social media, there's somebody that is a therapist, somebody that is a massage technician or mechanic. Find somebody. There's pages out there. And if you ask them a question, or people that are professional and on LinkedIn, at your school, for organizations, opportunities where you can volunteer, because all these companies have events. They need volunteers, and that's the biggest thing. I end up being in a pageant. Somebody asked me, said it'd be a good idea. I had to learn to walk and talk a different way. And it made it worse. It emphasized what I already had on the inside.
Yep.
And I was confident, like, oh, now if I can do that and get fifth in the nation, you can't tell me nothing. What's going to happen? What's the
Right.
worst thing that can happen?
Right.
And that's how I came. How do I get over? I just do it. I used to sell paparazzi jewelry. I know you're gonna, I'm gonna tell you about 5 more things I do or used to do. When I sold paparazzi jewelry, next thing you know, it was just me. All I want to do was sell jewelry. I didn't want to build no team. I didn't want to do nothing else. I enjoyed it. It was fun. I got to laugh, be myself. People came, and next thing you know, I had 41 people on my team.
Wow.
What is we gonna do with all these people? Well, I figured it out. And nobody on my team wanted to go live. And my thing was, only way you're going to get over is to do it.
Yeah.
Did it hurt? Did you bleed? Did you die? No. That means you can do it again. Because see, what you did was you psych yourself out in your head before you even get started.
Yeah.
And if you can just jump out there and try it, that's it. And if you got somebody, like right now, okay, I thought about doing a podcast one time, but I don't know nobody. But I do now. Okay, I have StreamYard. I was even paying for it, but I didn't really learn how to mess with it. But now that I know, and I know enough to be dangerous, and I watched a couple of videos on YouTube, because that's like a whole encyclopedia. And I got somebody that I can call, and I've been on here and we've done something together. It's a hand in hand.
Yeah.
There you go. I done found me one now. She's on StreamYard, and then she's gonna put it on Spotify. So that's the part I don't know how to do. So did you just see how I found my mentor just that quick?
Yeah.
And there it is.
Wow. See, y'all, it is not complicated. I think sometimes as women, we overthink a lot of things. We overcomplicate things. And, just as simple as, you said there's always someone, or find someone who's doing what you want to do. Listen, I think that's amazing advice, number one, because I think sometimes as women, we can be competitive, or we can have that crab mentality where I don't want to, you gatekeeping information and all of that kind of stuff. But really and truly, if you want to, move forward and get to where God wants you to be, then you do, like you said, you cannot be afraid to ask someone for help. You cannot be afraid to be a student, because like you said, yep. And somebody taught me, like I had a friend who also had a podcast, and I said, listen, train me on how you do what you do. And then, and then I gleaned from her, and then I pulled what worked for me and what works for my audience and things like that, but I had to have a teachable spirit. And a lot of times the reason why we're so confused, the reason why we're so unsure is because we refuse to ask for help. We refuse to really just stand on business, because I think I said on Facebook earlier this week, a lot of times we know. As women, a lot of times we know what we're supposed to be doing. We know what our gifting is. We know what God has called us to do, but we're scared. Or what people gonna think. I tell this all the times when I talk to women about sharing their story. They're always like, well, what are people gonna say? What if people knew this? And listen, stand in your truth, own your stuff. Listen, listen, own your stuff.
Let me tell you something. What happened when I sold paparazzi? At the time, I think I may have been making 75, 80,000. And people said, why are you selling $5 jewelry? Because I like it and it's fun. Shut it down. Say it. Yeah, what they gonna say? Now, the other thing is something transparent. I mean, it's nothing major. I've been married 3 times. Woo, I done said it. It's out there in the atmosphere, right? We ain't got to talk about it no more. It really ain't no big thing now, because now you know. I done told you, you ain't hear from nobody. You ain't got to ask nobody, because I done told you. And when you put it out there, and 9 times out of 10, the things that you want to do is somebody else want to do the same thing.
Thank you.
And they mad, they feel some type of way because they're not doing it. Not because you're doing it. It's something they've internalized with themselves, and they're convicting themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when I leave here, I want to be on empty.
Having poured out everything that is inside of you. I say that I want to go to my grave empty. I want to pour out everything that God has given me, every assignment. I want to have completed it, because otherwise, child, what was the point? What was I here doing? Building everybody else's empire?
It's like going shopping and it's a bad dress on that rack. No, I ain't gonna get it. You go back home, you think about it, you count your coins, then you go back and it ain't there no more.
See?
Whose fault is that?
Mm.
That's it. It's just like that.
Yeah.
But when it's
And it
something
lets
you
you know
really
you can
want,
miss an opportunity. You can miss an opportunity by overthinking, by second guessing yourself, by not doing what you know. You knew that was your dress and you tripping. Well, you know, you had the money. It wouldn't have set you back. It wouldn't have, you know what I mean? But because you are you're walking around pretending to be unsure. Because let me just say, like I said, I'm gonna say it till I'm blue in the face. A lot of times we know. And like I was telling you earlier, Monica, like sometimes we're uncertain because we have the wrong people around us. I am big talking about community. I'm big about, you know, who's in your inner circle, who's around you, who are you talking to, who are you confiding in, all of the things. If you have the wrong people in your circle, it will affect how you think, how you dream, your confidence, all of the things. You cannot be surrounded by people who don't want nothing for themselves and think you know, you're gonna soar. No, that because guess what? They're gonna at some point attempt to be a hindrance to you. Listen, everybody in my circle, we dreamers, we doers, we shake, we moving, we shaking, we doing things. Because guess what? Iron sharpens iron. And I don't want to be around nobody who don't want nothing for themselves. No.
and the other part of that, the question is, so why are we confused? And my question is, are you really confused? Are you confused or you're out of alignment?
Talk about that. Yes.
And half of the time it's not because of your ability.
Yeah.
You have it. Because if God gave it to you, he's already equipped you.
Yes.
So that noise, that fear, the comparison, you got to block it out. You got to leave it alone. And when you get really confused and you just don't know what direction to take, stop. Think about really what it is. And then you tell yourself, let me pray and listen to what's on your inside. And usually at that time, I can't ask nobody.
Right.
Because if they don't agree with me, that gets me off kilter. But what they say, God didn't call everybody to the meeting or to the conference call. It was yours.
Yep.
And when you call up, because if they weren't called, they can't come to the meeting with nothing. So what are they contributing?
Correct.
And so you just have to stop. You can't do it.
Yep. It made, you know, when you were talking, it made me think about how I think in 2023, the Lord really laid it on my heart to start a podcast. I was just like, I really want to do a podcast. I feel like I have something to say. I feel like the Lord is calling me, but I never stepped out because at the time everybody was doing a podcast. Everybody was doing the thing. And I was just like, oh, well, you know, I don't want people to think ABC 1, 2, 3. And then I had people in my life who were like, do you really think God is saying that? Do you really think you want to do that? Or why don't you help me start my podcast? Like, you know, it was like, well, you know, and then I'll put you on. Stuff like, listen. And so during all of that going back and forth in my head, time is ticking. The clock is ticking. Now it's 2023 came and went. 2024 came along. There was a major shift in my life. And then it was like, okay, Tasha, either piss or get off the pot. Like literally, now you got to do this thing. You can't keep giving excuses because like you said, Monica, I wasn't confused. I wasn't confused about what God said. I wasn't confused about what he called me to do. I wasn't confused about the dream on the inside of me. What it was is that I was out of alignment. I had the wrong people around me. See, listen, I'm telling you. And so now, baby, you can't tell me nothing. I may not, you know, have, you know, all millions of people, you know, tuned in, but baby, I'm gonna keep crawling. I'm gonna keep plowing because one thing I know is that God gave it to me. So he has to multiply it. His hand is on it. And so, you know, when I think back, even when you were talking, I was like, girl, that wasn't confusion. And like you said, that's so many of us. That's so many of us where we're like, I'm so unsure. No, you're not. No, you're not. And you're not even necessarily afraid. It's again, get into the space where God wants you to be. Go ahead, girl, because I can talk, honey.
No. Okay. And along with that, was there any imposter syndrome there?
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh God, yes. Yes, absolutely.
And what that does is we have messed ourselves up here before anybody else said anything.
Yep.
And a lot of times that is the biggest barrier. I remember I was asked at my previous job, I was asked to sit on a panel. It was a career development, identifying what your purpose, all those types of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, cool. I talk all the time. It was no script. They was going to ask some questions. I'm just going to answer them off my heart and run with it. But the problem was, and it wasn't the first time that I had spoke to the organization, other than, because I worked in HR, I was a director and all of the other members on the panel were VPs.
Yeah.
So I felt like, well, what am I going to add to this? Remember I said somebody saw something in you that you didn't see in yourself?
Right.
But of course, you always, when the calling comes, come with your yes. I did it. And it ended up, I did more talking than the people that were there. Because I had more stories. I had more stories and examples compared, because they had been on the job for years. But I had other arenas that I had been exposed to. So when someone asked the question, I'm like, okay, well, let me go on and answer that one too. I mean, and at the end, and no matter what you do you remember your first podcast?
Yes, I do.
But when you got ready to do the next one, it was a different ball game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because I've done a podcast. Well, that wasn't a podcast. I did a 3-day masterclass. And I kept saying, I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna charge. My thing is, I wanted to see what it felt like to come with the idea, preparation, execution from beginning to end. You can't buy that.
Right.
I ain't remember it. I ain't got to pass no test. I know what I got to write in my little notebook, what I'm going to do, what I'm not going to do. But if I would have allowed that imposter syndrome to take over and never do it, it would have been awful.
And you know what, Monica, for those women who are listening, who may catch the replay, explain in layman's terms what imposter syndrome is.
When I believe imposter syndrome, I feel like I don't deserve it. I'm not worthy. I'm not qualified. I'm not. Yeah. And nobody has said anything. Right. That is something I have put in my mind that keeps me from doing it. Oh, I do it later. That's all right. Nobody said anything. Or it may be an idea of something I want to do, and I feel like I'm not qualified. I have gone as far as flew all the way to Baltimore, Maryland, to see about an event, a speaker's event, and what it took for this lady, my former coach, to have it for a whole day. I got my little notebook out. I wrote down how many vendors she had, how much she charged for each vendor, how many speakers, how much she charged for each speaker. She had someone to sponsor the food. Somebody donated, and it was their clubhouse for the event. Now, I think I can do that. That ain't nothing but like a party at the house. Come on, Thanksgiving. And those types of things. And I said, let me just try. And when you have people, they may help, or you may do it by yourself. When you do it from beginning to end, all you gotta do is wash, rinse, and repeat. Wash, rinse, and repeat. All the people we see that have these coaching businesses or their own business, or they're going to the next level, they master something and they put some mess on top of it. They put some mess on top of it. And they just continue to grow.
Yeah, and it drowns out of that voice because, like you were saying, if you're a person that you struggle with imposter syndrome, it's, you know, I don't feel like I can do it, or I don't feel worthy, or, and the whole time everybody else looking at you like, what you mean, girl? You got this. You can do this. But in your, like you said, and it's not necessarily other people saying it, but you're saying it amongst your, you know, within yourself. And like you said, I do remember my first podcast show. And mind you, we talked about here, because for those of you who are listening who may not know, the Unmuted Conversations podcast, our conversations are always based around faith, family, friendship, and a whole lot of mental health. So my very first show was with my closest friends, because I wanted a security blanket. I wanted some safety. And I was like, I'm bringing my homegirls on the show with me, and this is what we're going to do. And so, of course, you know, I felt a little relaxed, but still, this is still my first thing. You know, it's still a first. So I was like, oh God, but I promise you, episode 2, episode 3, I'm like, okay. Now, honey, I'm going to get on here and I'm going to be myself. I'm going to get on here. You going to get whatever I'm giving, you know, take it or leave it. This is what we do. This is the show. And so, and like you said, because each time you gain a little bit more confidence. Oh, you get a little bit stronger. Like, okay, I can. And you know, and we don't say that from an arrogant or prideful standpoint, but it's really just knowing what you're called to do. It's really taking a chance on yourself. It's really just standing 10 toes down in what you're called to do, and not apologizing about it. Because as women, we are, you know, a lot of times now, most of us, we kind of over it now, because like we don't have to go through some things, but you know, we apologizing for our success. No, we're not doing that no more. No, because like you said, Monica, it was never usually about being confused. It was about that daggone imposter syndrome. It was about being out of alignment. It was about, you know, having the wrong doggone people in your ear. So now that we are in this place of clarity, now that we're in this place where we're saying, listen, I can trust what I know to be true. I can trust the voice of God. I can trust what I hear. And, you know, those of you who may not believe in God, whatever your intuition, whatever you do, now that we're in this place where we can say, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I know what God has called me to do. We can walk into it and we can get here. And like you've heard, listen, I've been doing this over a year. Y'all know my story, a lot of it. You met Monica tonight. She said, listen, she ain't scared. I ain't never scared. That's Monica. Yes. But the brilliant thing about her is that she knows how to help other women get to where she is. And this is why we bring women like her on our show, because I'm telling you, you know, we all have a different journey. We all come from different walks of life. We all have a different path. Honey, let me tell you something. My story ain't Monica's story. Baby got degrees out the yin yang, got all them letters behind her name. Listen, I went to Winston-Salem State, baby, but we didn't graduate, okay? But it don't even matter, because guess what? I can still stand and do what God called me to do. It ain't hindered a thing. I still can work and do what I'm called to do. I'm passionate about the work that I get to do, whether it's in the marketplace or in ministry. God has done the doggone thing. And so, Monica, thank you. I appreciate you for telling the truth, because listen, she said it ain't got nothing to do with you being confused. No. She said you ain't in alignment. Did y'all hear? Say it again, Monica. Say it one more time.
What?
We ain't confused. They ain't confused.
Out of alignment. You're not in alignment.
Go ahead, girl.
I had one friend to say, she said to me, she said, yeah, all my friends, they are all this and big and bad. I said, but let me explain something to you, because we all come to the table with something.
Absolutely.
And when we realize that the table really already belonged to us, let's leave that there. I said, can't nobody pray like you do.
Yeah.
I can't hire folk for that job. So what you bring to the table is just as valuable, because when the rubber meets the road and it don't work, and I know I got somewhere to call.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I need. So everybody has something. You got to figure out what it is. And so that dips into, how do you find clarity? You have to really take the time and be honest with yourself and figure out what is really real right now.
Exactly.
What's in my power? What's in my hand? How much effort can I put forth? And what is it that I really want to do? Once you figure that out right, once you figure all of that out,
Yeah,
you will know what is true right now.
absolutely.
You will learn to separate the feelings from the facts.
Mm.
Okay? Because here go the worst things you do, what you can't do. You can't lie to yourself. Now
That's
you
right.
can lie to everybody else in the street. You can lay in the bed. Now you, unless you're crazy, and you know, sometimes we do need help because we have our moments. But once you separate the feelings from the facts, that's big money right there.
Yeah. Yep.
And then when you identify, what am I really asking myself? And once you know what that is, you are dead set focus.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, when you want something so bad, you can't think about nothing else. You can't concentrate.
That's right.
When you focus, when that means put the children to the side for right now, you ain't worried about mister or not having a mister, and you focus on that, your time is filled. And your mind is so focused and working and just continue to go. When you lay down, girl, I'm done for the day. I ain't got time about nothing else. I don't put everybody on the list.
Yep.
And what we do is we put ourselves last. All right, go ahead and poke on the empty cup and see who's gonna be thirsty.
Okay.
Okay. And so from that point, once you figure out what it is, take one step at a time, not the whole staircase.
Yeah. One.
And when you do one step at a time and you just build on top of it, next thing you know, you're gonna be like, oh Lord, look how far I done come.
Yep. Yep.
That's how you find clarity.
Wow. And that is how you find clarity. Listen, it ain't difficult. We make these things difficult, but like you said, it's taking one step, in front of the other, one foot in front of the other. Just saying, okay, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do this, and then like you said, if you were a person, you was like, oh, I want a doctorate degree. You got to get the bachelor's and the master's first. You got to take these steps. So I think that's so true, because a lot of times sometimes we see the end of a thing, and then it's kind of like, oh, but it's too much, so I'm not gonna do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
When you ultimately just get up and do the thing that you can do now, and do it well.
You're right. And so once you start going, that's when the next C comes in.
Come on with it. Come on with it.
Every time you do something, you become more confident.
Yep.
How many times you need to bake a cake? Now I don't bake nothing, but I can make a turkey, a ham, some collard, the green. I can make all that. And I burn cornbread. I don't need brown rolls. If I had a date to come over, I'm not gonna put the bread in until they get there, because I know that's not my area of specialty. Because I don't care. Because I really don't. I'm not a dessert person. So I never. But you want some chitlins? You want some chili beans?
No, we don't want no chitlins.
You want? I can make them, but I don't eat them no more. I mean, whatever you want, I can make that, even if it's from a recipe. I know enough to do some damage. And every time you do it, you become more confident.
Absolutely.
Because what happens, like you said from the beginning, you already know. Now you got to trust it. Now you got to walk in it. Now you got to believe it. And as you continue to do that, that's what happens. Confidence grows through action, not thinking. You can't build yourself confident. You can't build yourself confident.
Oh, that's good.
You got to do something to say, oh, child, I already did that. Yeah. I've been there. You ever somebody say, have you been to Ruth Chris? Oh, yeah. But if somebody who's never been to Ruth Chris, they don't know that you don't get a whole plate. You got to order some meat and some vegetables and this, that, like you got to do that. And once you've been one time, you know if you want to go back again.
Yeah.
And so what happens, that becomes those small wins, and that strengthens your confidence muscle.
Yeah.
So no more imposter syndrome. I don't believe, or I can't, or whatever. And then stop seeking permission.
Ooh.
You ain't got, okay, when you want some shoes, when you want to go shopping, when I got to go get my nails done tomorrow and my hair, I ain't gotta ask nobody.
And don't. And won't.
Use that same energy and go after what you want.
Yep.
Because you get up, you know, at 5 o'clock, I got an appointment. I'm gonna take my shower, put on my clothes, and I'm gonna be sitting up waiting and,
Yep.
and be done.
Mhm.
And when you stop asking permission,
Yeah.
you move with what you know. You
Yep.
keep going. Nobody got to tell you. Sometimes it's already automatic because you're like, okay, just like when you're driving. You're going down the highway, you're trying, Lord, don't let me speed. And it's causeway.
Yeah.
You know what to do because you don't want them to hit you. Didn't nobody teach you that? It just came natural.
Yep.
And so again, if God gave you the idea to do something, He's gonna already give you the arm is already on. You equipped, but you just didn't know it. That's when people see things in you that you don't see in yourself. So you got clarity, and now you got confidence because you continue to work it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Come on with it. Then what? Then what? Because we know. Listen, if y'all ain't picked it up yet, sis runs off of 3 C's. We got clarity. We got confidence. Baby, go ahead and tell us what that third one is so we can bring it on home tonight.
Okay, we're gonna bring it on home. The last one. Once you are clear,
yep,
you begin to work it. You're confident, and when you continue to do it over and over again, you're committed. You know, like when you young, you had a little boyfriend that you didn't probably need to be with no more, but you kept trying and kept trying it. Yeah, you was committed. You was committed.
Mm-hmm.
Then you realize, you know, let me go back to clarity.
Yeah, yeah.
And let's work on my confidence. And then you realize I'm not going to be committed to that no more. But I just thought I'd throw that out there anyway. Because commitment means you have some structure.
Yeah.
Some standards and some boundaries.
Say that again for the people in the back. Some structure, some standards, and some boundaries. Amen.
And did any of those words have anything to do with your emotions?
Not now one.
Not one. And so what happened when I get to that point, what they say, plan the work and work the plan, whatever it is. When you have a plan, you promise yourself you're going to do it and continue to practice. That's it. You ain't got time to worry about the outside noise. You ain't got time to worry about them people that don't understand, don't want you to do it, don't believe in you, want to be selfish, want you to do it. You don't have time for any of that.
Because you're focused. Yeah.
You focus. You keep going. And you say, okay, well, Monica, what do you mean focus? Okay. Today is Monday. When is Thanksgiving? Thursday. You know, you the only thing in between everybody eating, right? So that means I've got to plan a menu. I've got to have my plates, my containers, my frying pan, my roaster, everything. I got to have all the condiments. I got to have all the food. I got to have the meats. I got to have my paperware, my decorations, and everything. At that time, did you have time to worry about anything else?
Heck no.
And every time Thanksgiving come and everybody's sitting there swole and full as a tick. Every time. And so what happens, that turns into a routine. You have those boundaries. You've made it a priority. And now you're aligned.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And now you're aligned.
Yeah. And with commitment.
That is so good.
It's when you show up even when you don't want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Either you got a children, a puppy, a cat, right? You fall in where you fit in, or a best friend, because sometimes they act like your children or your man. Whatever it is, you put your name, you just fill in the blank.
Yeah.
When you decide this is what I'm gonna do, you do it.
Yeah.
Even when I'm sleeping, I'm tired, them children got to get to school. I don't want to do it, but I'm committed as a mama.
Yeah.
I know I got them bills to pay. I know I'm going to be up for a promotion. I want a different job. I want to learn something. I want to just stay employed. I want to eat and have the lights on.
Yeah.
You get up anyway. There's structure because you get there on time, right? You do what they tell you. And it comes, naturally. That's like when the alarm clock go off and you already in there brushing your teeth. You like, oh, let me cut that off. So you just show up and continue to do it.
Yeah. And we lead them look, feelings ain't facts.
No,
Guess
no,
what?
no. They don't buy no grocery neither.
Girl.
They don't.
Listen, if they did, some of us will be somewhere swole for real because listen.
For real.
We ain't gonna go there tonight, but we do have to get to a place where listen, like we move in facts and strategies and all of the things. And so I'm glad you joined me on tonight, Monica. This has been an amazing conversation. Listen, she said you ain't confused. You just out of alignment.
Yeah, that's a choice you made. Just get on back in.
And it's okay because guess what? You can go another way. You can do a 180 and go another way. That's the beauty of this thing called life. Like it doesn't matter what you've done, what decision you made, as long as you're still breathing, baby, you can make another decision. So even if you're at a point in your life where you feel like I'm not where I'm supposed to be, I'm not where I need to be, I'm not where God wants me to, all of the things, if you still breathing, you still got time. And Monica gave us some really good pointers on tonight. The 3 C's: clarity, confidence, commitment. Baby, you don't have no excuses because guess what? She told you what to do. She already told you get rid of that imposter syndrome. Because listen, ultimately, this ain't about you. This is not about, oh, I don't feel good enough. Baby, guess what? Somebody needs what you have on the inside of you. So let's think from that standpoint. When we get out of our own way and realize, listen, I don't do this podcast for me. Baby, I can talk to myself in the mirror if I wanted to talk, or I got friends, honey. But this is something that God told me to do. And so if I don't help but one person, or if I help 1,000 people, I'm going to do what God called me to do. And it's not about, well, I don't think I sound like Dr. Monica Jackson, or I don't feel like I sound. No, listen, everybody know I am a person. I'm going to be myself just a little bit, just a teeny, tiny bit ratchet. And we're going to have fun and we're going to talk about real life. That's what we do here. And so I'm committed to being myself because guess what? I spent a lot of years trying to be what other people wanted me to be and was confused. No, and was out of alignment. Both of them, a little bit. But I'm at a place where now I can stand in my truth because I know who God has called me to be. Granted, God is still revealing things, to me and to you about ourselves. So let's continue to be open to that. But while we're on this race, let's continue to operate and have clarity. Let's continue to move with confidence. And then let's be committed to the thing that God has given us, or He has shown us, or He has charged us to do. Okay? Not only that, Monica told us, if you listen, somebody asked on tonight, if you missed it, catch the replay. How do I find a mentor? They said, I wish I had one. Listen, she even told, baby, go find somebody who is doing what you want to do. Mentors are everywhere. You ain't got to sign up for a 6-week coaching class. You don't got to pay no whole lot of money unless you want to, because hey, that's the thing. But you don't have to do that. You can find somebody. You want to be a TED Talk speaker, go find somebody who's already done that. You want to figure out how to get a doctorate degree, find somebody who has it. You want to be a podcast host, find somebody who's already doing the thing. And that's how easy it is to get mentorship. She told us that on tonight. Listen, she even talked about Ultimate Her. Oh, we're going to come back to that because guess what? This is the Unmuted Conversations podcast, but y'all know I got another baby over here that's sitting over here, the Unmute Her Collective, where we do the same thing. We help women unmute their message, share their story with the world. We just do it a different way. So I do want to, before we close out, it is 57 minutes after the hour, but before we close out, I'm going to give Monica the opportunity to expound a little bit more on Ultimate Her. I want you to tell people how they can reach you, if they got questions about these 3 C's, if they just want to see if you are a good mentor for them, how can people reach you? Like, let the people know. But before you do that, I want you to tell everybody about Ultimate Her because we want the tea.
Well, the Ultimate Her, I'll tell you how it all started. First, I started with the Ultimate Ensemble, and that was dressing up with the right jewelry, earrings. Because when you feel pretty, when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you do a good job, and when you do a good job, they pay you good. And I'm gonna promise you that.
Yeah.
And so $5, that was fun for me. Then I started working out. And so that was the ultimate her, being able to go to the gym and do these
Yeah.
things at my own pace, things that made me feel good about myself for nobody else.
Yes.
That's how the ultimate her started. The ultimate experience is the coaching program.
Woo.
And that coaching program, we can do one-on-ones, we can do groups, I can come speak. It just depends. If you see me on social media, it's Monica, no, on Facebook is Monica Jackson. On LinkedIn, it's Dr. Monica Jackson. And my number and everything is on there. Reach out, DM. The easiest way is to text me a DM and just let me know. And we'll assess where you are, because you just may need some advice. Because my thing is, I've always been told it ain't nothing wrong with being a copycat. Make sure you copy the right cat so you know the road, the path you want to go.
Amen.
And that's totally me. There's nothing in the world I feel like I cannot do. For example, Monica is going to get her a BMW, another one. I've had two.
And she is.
And I hate to go to the dealership. I always go when the people have already gone home. And I said, you know what? The day I was going in and said, can I talk to you? Let's go and sit at your desk. And I did. I ain't had nothing to lose. I ain't signed up. They don't know me. And he said, okay, well, tell me what you want. I want me a X5. I want black. I want an M Sport. I want a shadow line package. I want the executive package. I want cognac seats. I want the crystal gear shift. And I want the 20-inch rims blacked out. And the man said, ma'am, you done your research. Yeah, because he got a picture. And this is what I want.
Yes.
And he said, you the easiest thing. And my thing is, that was on me last night. And I went on YouTube and I got to looking. Then I joined a group and I told the people, this is what the base model looked like, but this is what I want to look like. And I want a wide body kit. So the most I can get on the car once I buy it. So all I got to do is buy my kit and drive my car. That's what I want. And that is how my mind operates.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So you say, okay, so how do I do that? I trust myself and what I've learned. I have talked to my son so much. I don't think the baby really want to come home, but he's so excited. That's all. We talk 10 times a day. And that's that asking those questions, getting that advice. Then I had to call one more person. He said, Lord, but when I heard that M50i crank, he said, yeah. He said, you know why? I said, because the one I test drove was a 6-cylinder and the other one was an 8-cylinder. And I'm not a girl. I don't think a woman should have to do anything but drive. I don't even want to put gas in it. But, I ain't got there yet, but I'm just saying. And so I had to trust what I knew. And so I did the research. And so what that does is, because when you trust what you know, you're not confused. Yeah. And confused is nothing but fear dressed up.
Yeah. Ooh. Wow.
Confusion is nothing but your fear dressed up with the lipstick on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take it off and wash your face and keep on going. Okay. Then when you have peace about what you're doing, that's when you get your confirmation. Ain't nobody said, ain't nobody told me, because I know.
Yeah.
And what that does, it lets you realize, if I keep coming back to it, if I keep returning to the same spot, God has already gave me direction, because he brought me back to where I'm supposed to be. So what do? You take action. One thing in 24 hours, trust yourself to do one thing towards your goal. Because remember, we don't work nobody goals and nobody dreams.
Exactly.
Because if you do, you're going to work theirs and they're going to get paid for it. And then you haven't learned anything. And you don't own nothing.
Correct.
So your final key takeaways, if you don't remember anything else, you already have the answer inside of you. Get clear. Have clarity. Keep working it. When you work it, you get more confident with every step. When it becomes a pattern, you set boundaries. You got a destination. That's when you're committed. All of that together is called momentum.
Ooh.
And can't nobody stop you.
Mm,
Okay. So your calling is really so much louder than your confusion, but what you gonna listen to? And only you can answer that question.
Wow. Wow. Only you can answer that question. Whew.
So
Monica,
you can't lie to yourself. You can't lie to
that
yourself.
part, that part. You can lie to everybody else, but you can't lie to yourself. So do the work. Do what you got to do. Take the steps that Monica gave on tonight. Listen, if you need to go back and watch the replay and get you a pen and a piece of paper, I would behoove you to do it. Because sis, she brought it tonight. Listen, I ain't have to do nothing but show up and just bring her on in the room, bring her on the stage. Listen, because that's just how it is. That's how it is whenever she's around. She's a wealth of information. And listen, and so are you. And we all are. And I tell people all the time. I said it to somebody today. I said I am a blessing to any table I'm seated at. Okay, absolutely. I mean, like you said, I may not can do this, and this, but baby, I can do something, and it's gonna bless this table. And so I want everyone to have that same mindset. Don't walk around in your feelings. Don't walk around feeling defeated. I need you to get clarity about what you're supposed to be doing. Keep doing it. Get you some confidence, and then get some commitment. Be committed to it. And then, because what all those three things build what momentum. That's what Dr. Monica said. I didn't say it. She said it. So as we wrap up our show tonight, it is 9:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We just in here, we having a good time. We chatting, we having some girl talk. She's sharing her story. I'm sharing a little bit of mine because that's what we do here at the Unmuted Conversations podcast. But before we wrap up, I do want to just once again thank everyone who has tuned in on tonight. If you just getting on here, feel free to watch the replay. Again, we are streaming live right now on Facebook and YouTube. You can go back and watch the replay on both of those. Tomorrow, you'll be able to listen to us on Amazon Music and Spotify. So be sure to tune into that. If you are not familiar with the YouTube channel, we are at Unmuted Conversations. That's all together, no spaces, on YouTube. So feel free to look us up, subscribe, like, comment, do all of the things. Y'all know how to do it on YouTube. That is Unmuted Conversations on YouTube. And also on Facebook, you see me here, Latasha Renee. Like, come on in the room, send me a friend request if you need to, follow me, all of the things. We do a lot of things over here on this Facebook page. If you would prefer to follow me on Instagram, I am on Instagram. My Instagram page is more of my business page, so you can follow me at Unmute Her Collective. Unmute Her Collective is my baby. Unmute Her Collective, we do all of the things. So it is the home of my podcast. It is the home of my publishing company. It is the home of my coaching services. It is the home of where I do all of my book collaborations. It is where I do my retreats. It is where I do my workshops. That is the Unmute Her Collective. We do all of the things there. So if you want to keep up with what's going on there, please hit the follow button on Instagram. Also, my website, if you want to find out what's going on, I do a lot of my announcements there first. My website is www.unmutehercollective.org. And if I were you, I would go ahead and drop your email address over there because she's getting a facelift. And so in just a few short weeks, I'm going to show you the makeover to my website. And I promise you, we have some new and exciting things coming up about. We are rebranding. We are elevating the experience that you will have with the Unmute Her Collective. So feel free to check out my website and leave us your email address. If you are interested in being a guest on my podcast, we would love to have you. All you have to do is send me an email at unmutedconversations@gmail.com. Send me an email. Let me know why you want to be a guest on my show. Share a little bit of your story, and I will reach back out to you. Please keep in mind, I only do women. My audience is women. I am obsessed with helping women unmute their message and share their story with the world. There are so many amazing people who are helping men. You can find one of them. Monica can help you with that. But my assignment, my assignment here on the earth is to help women. And so I want to stay in my lane. I want to do what God has called me to do until I get a release to do otherwise. Also, I just want to make one announcement. A lot of you have been following me on Facebook. I do have an upcoming workshop that is going to be held on December the 6th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is called Writing the Story Within. So if you have a story that you are ready to share, if you have a story that you feel like you are ready to share with power and with purpose, whether it doesn't have to be traumatic stories. I work with all different kinds of stories. I tell people all the time, it can be mysterious, it can be holy, it can be hilarious. We don't gatekeep healing over here. If you have overcome something and you're ready to help someone else, whether it's pain or pivots or whatever it is, then I invite you to join me for the Writing the Story Within workshop. Like I said, it's going to be December 6th at 10 a.m. It is on Zoom. So it's virtual. You can be anywhere you want to be. I have, I think, 8 seats left. It is on Zoom, but I want it to be intimate because I wanted to be able to answer questions for the ladies who are on the show, who are part of the workshop. So please go to my Facebook page or DM me or hit me up on Instagram for the link to sign up. Again, it is free. I have just a few seats left. Registration will close on December the 1st or until the seats are filled, whichever comes first. So if you are already signed up and you know someone who may be interested, please hit me up. I will send you a link. I will not be doing any more free workshops. So this is the last free one. So you might want to get on in while you fit in. But this is where I'm going to be showing you how to write a book, how to share your story, whether it's public speaking, how to overcome fear, how to figure out what your message is. Because what we do, we don't just tell our story to be telling our story. What is your message? What are you trying to say? I teach people how to do that. You'll learn that in the workshop. So please reach out to me if you're interested in signing up for that. But once again, thank you to all of my listeners who are so faithful, who show up for me. I would not be able to do this without you. So if you are just tuning in, please feel free to catch the replay, share this show with your neighbor, your sister, and your friend. From confusion to clarity. But baby Monica already told us you ain't even confused. Honey, you was just tripping a little bit, but it's okay because she gave you some tips, tools, and resources on how to overcome that. All you got to do is watch this replay. She'll show you how to do that. Again, Monica, thank you so much for joining us here at the Unmuted Conversations podcast. As always, listen, it is always a pleasure to talk to you. Listen, we've been rocking together for over 20 years, girl, but listen.
Yes.
Listen, but of course, we have been living our lives, and so it's good that we're able to reconnect in this way. And I know that God isn't finished with us yet. I know we have a lot more of reconnecting to do. So I'm excited to see what God does in us and through us. But once again, thank you so much for being a part of the show. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. And until next time, good night.